Hi there and welcome to another edition of Modern Retro Review, and in this one I'm going to be looking at 3 Commodore 64 games from the Reset 64 4kb Craptastic game competition, which was completed in August 2024. Now if you're not aware of what this is, basically Reset 64 is a magazine, a digital magazine online which you can download from itch.io, and I will put a link to that page in the pinned comment. But every year they do this Reset 64 4K Craptastic game competition. I'm reading this now from their itch.io page. It says, "What the blooming heck does craptastic mean, I hear you ask? It certainly doesn't mean crap, although it can. Craptastic can mean ludicrous, bonkers, outrageous, funny, wacky, far out and silly. The theme simply implies that the competition was just for a bit of fun and not a serious coding competition. Competitors are welcome to make an excellent game to submit for the compo, or games that contain some humour or silliness to fit more with the theme, but they didn't have to." As the name suggests, the competition was limited to 4kb, which means that any entry submitted could be no more than 4kb when compressed. So there were over 30 games submitted to the competition last year, and I've chosen 3 of them to take a look at. Why these 3? Well, no real particular reason. I just found them on itch.io before I realised that they were all linked to this competition. So these were the 3 I've chosen. They do look quite interesting. There are probably better games that were done for the competition, and maybe some worse ones as well. But these are the 3 I'm going to look at. Maybe I will go back and look at some more of them in a future video. So anyway, as you'll have seen from the screen in front of you as you're watching this video, the first game I'm going to be looking at is Cavern Drone Race, and this was created by Gearstrom, whose name I've probably pronounced really badly, possibly French or maybe German, I don't know. If you ever watch this video, Gear, then please let me know what your nationality is, and also correct my terrible pronunciation if you can. Anyway, so Cavern Drone Race, as we've already established, was created in 4kb of memory, and it's a drone racing game, unsurprisingly. So you've probably seen enough of this title screen, which has got that classic arcade style font on it. Let's get going. So as you can see, it's a race between 3 drones. I am the red one, and the idea of the game is to beat the other 3 drones through the cavern. The cavern is nicely drawn. It scrolls really nicely, this game as well, in multiple directions. Nice graphics, generally speaking. They are simple because they're 4K. They've got to fit in 4K. But we've got a timer in the corner as well. But there's the graphics for the drones are nicely drawn. They animate slightly. They tilt as you go through. There's a hoop to go through there, but it doesn't really seem to do anything. And there's another one a bit later on. It flashes through the 3 colours for the drones, but it doesn't seem to serve any purpose. I think the idea with these 4K games is quite often they are sort of tech demos or proof of concept things that then the developers will go on and create a bigger game from. And in the case of this one, that would definitely work well. As you can see, the 2 computer control players have gone way ahead in front of me and finished way before me, but I finished in 57 seconds. They finished in 50 and 51 seconds respectively. So anyway, I've started another game, and I was going to anyway. So I've started at the bottom this time instead of the top, so that randomizes slightly. So it's the controls are basic. Just point the joystick in the direction you want to go. There's nothing, no rotation or anything like that. Obviously it does have the look of an over-the-top view racing game. As soon as I hit any landscape, I'm effectively behind the computer players. So obviously there's ways this could be improved, like maybe if that loop gave you a boost, and also if you were equipped with a way to shoot the opposition drones to slow them down or something like that. Also having more than one cavern to fly through. All these things could probably be done if the game was expanded to work in more than 4K. But as a tech demo for a bigger game, oh, I've hit the loop there, then it's really good. The scrolling is really smooth, the controls are precise. My steering, oh, it's disqualified. Well, there we go. That answers the question about what happens if you don't go through the hoops. Then you get disqualified. So let's have another try. I'm back at the top this time. So you do seem to start off faster, but as I said, any contact with the landscape and it's over in terms of being able to finish ahead of the opposition drones. I am currently in second place, but as soon as I hit that wall there, so you've really got to get your controls precise, and the control is excellent in it, to be fair. It's very smooth, but any kind of nudge against the landscape and you're in trouble. So probably, you know, if you were going to expand it into a full game, you'd start with some easier courses that are a bit wider caverns perhaps, and this would be one of the later ones. But yeah, there's ways you could improve it in terms of having pickup, speed boosts, you know, maybe have a turbo that you could use with the fire button that you can only use once per race or something like that. But yeah, overall, as a proof of concept type demo, it's pretty decent. So there we go. I finished in 55 seconds that time, so a little bit quicker than the first time, but still nowhere near as good as the two computer controlled opponents. So there you go. That is Cavern Drone Race, and with that, I'm going to move on to the second game. Right then, I've loaded up the second game that I'm going to be taking a look at, and as you can see from this very simple text-based title screen, this is Bat in the Cave by Anina Games. And all you have to do to start the game is press fire in joystick port 2. So I may as well do that because I have nothing more to say about the title screen. Obviously this one's a little bit more simplistic than the previous one. And here we go. So firstly, there's no sound in this game. So if you're wondering why there's no sound, it's intentional. So you control a bat that's in a cave, unsurprisingly, based on the name of the game. And what you've got to do is collect the hearts and make your way to the top of the cave. But this is like a one switch game. So the joystick lever doesn't do anything. All that does anything is pressing the fire button, and when you press the fire button, your bat will go up the screen. It will flap effectively, and every time it hits a wall, it will change direction. So as you can see, we've got to scroll up the screen. If you hit one of those things there, then you get knocked back down to the bottom of the cave, and there's no lives to speak of. Oh dear. There's no lives in this game. You literally just carry on, and if you fall back to the bottom, you just carry on again. So this again is very much a proof of concept style game. It's not really an especially fun game as it stands, but there's the concept, there's the idea there for something more substantial, I suppose. Yeah, so if you hit something, as you saw them, your bat turns red and falls further down the screen, and sometimes you can end up getting knocked all the way to the bottom. Now the problem I've got here is I don't know which direction it's going to go in. It's going to go that way, which is probably the way I didn't want it to go, really, because now I'm going to have to go back over to this side, and then oh, now I've hit that again. So again, don't know which way I'm going to go here, and down I go again, and this is where I'm going to tumble all the way back down to the bottom. So it's a bit infuriating, this one. Oh, I've landed there. Again, don't know which way I'm going to go. I've gone that way and I've hit some spikes. And if I go this way, I'm going to hit the spikes again. So I'm in a bit of a rut here. Let's hit that instead. I'm going to go all the way back to the bottom and try again. So it's about working out when to press the fire button to make the bat flap to get further up the screen. And sometimes you have to let it fall down to then get back up again. Oh, and that was a disaster. All the way back to the bottom. And away we go again. Nope, that's going to be a disaster as well. And so is that. And so is that. And down we go again. As you can see, it's pretty tricky. The problem is not being able to change direction of your own accord. No. So I've got to be able to get past those spikes. Okay, let's go again. Okay, there we go. That's better. No, okay, at least I've... So I should be going left now, I think. Well, that doesn't help me. Ah, okay, I see. Right, so I should be alright to go up the right-hand side now, I think. Okay, making a bit of progress. Although I think I've been this far up before. So that's going to rebound me back that way. Which way am I going now? Back that way again. Oh, okay. Oh, finally got a bit further up. So you've seen all you're going to see of this game, and actually, that's as far as I've ever got when I've had a trial run before. So I've completed the level in 3 minutes 35 seconds, and I guess I get a new level now. Okay. If only I'd known before that was that close to the top, I might have tried a bit harder. Oh, nope. So there is an objective, which is to get to the top as quickly as you can. That's going to go to the right, and that so will be left there. Nope. The thing I'm struggling with is remembering not to bounce up into those spikes. This is more about me not getting to grips with the control mechanism. Oh, that was close. So quite fiendishly designed levels, without any sound, and with the frustration of hitting the spikes all the time. It is a bit dull. But I like the idea of it being a one-switch game, which means anyone can play it. There's good accessibility as a result of that. Oh, I need to get that heart. Presumably you need to get all the hearts to continue in the game. Not doing too badly here. Oh, well, that's alright. I'll just stick me in the corner there. And the same again. Oh, okay. You got to go up one side and then drop down the other side, or I don't know. I will just try and complete this level and then we'll call it a day with this one, I think. Yeah, it just needs a bit of, I don't know, a bit of music or a bit of a flapping noise or something when you're flapping. Oh, finally got up there. And there we go, that's the second level completed. A lot faster than the first one, at least. Let's take a look at the third one, but I'm going to stop after I've done it. So this looks suspiciously very similar to the first level now. Yeah. So I think it's only got 2 levels as well. I think that's the same as the first level. It might be different further up. But you get the idea. It's an endless game. You can't... there's no game over. Or at least no game over that I've ever encountered. Maybe it is a bit different further up, but I've kind of had enough of that. Graphically, pretty nice. The bat's quite nicely animated. The walls look pretty decent, but it's not really a finished article, is it? It's a concept that could be expanded on, much like the first game, but that one was a bit more of a game. So that's that for Bat in the Cave, and I'll now move on to the final game of these 3 Craptastic 4K games. It's that time again where I say thank you to all my channel members, whose names you can see here in my Supporters Hall of Fame. If you're enjoying this video and would like to join these fine folks and support my efforts, why not become a member yourself? For a monthly fee starting from just 99p, you can get access to the special membership perks shown on screen, and more besides. If you're interested, then please click on the join button below this video for more information. Right then, the third and final game I'm going to be looking at is Nightmare 4K, and this was developed by somebody called Patagonia, who is from Argentina, and there's no title screen at all on this one. It just goes straight into the game, and the little character at the top there under the light. And the idea is it's basically a simple sort of platform game. On each level you've got to find the key, or collect the key. It's not hard to find, it's there somewhere, and then get to the exit. But when you step out of the light, as you'll see, actually there is nothing on this level, so it started off nice and easy. So there's a hole there that you can drop down by pushing up down on the joystick. You can't go down a ladder unless you can crouch, by the way, but you can't go down a ladder unless it's got a hole above it. So here I can go up this ladder, but I can't go down it. I can go down, so basically you can't go down ladders, you can only go down holes, is what I'm trying to say. There is an enemy. You can jump, by the way, as well by pressing the fire button. There is an enemy, a creepy enemy with some eyes in that TV, I think they are. You only got to 1 life and a health bar, so I'm not going to expend health unnecessarily. So anyway, that was the first stage. Here we go. Things get a little bit more taxing now. You can see a ghost moving backwards and forwards. Funnily enough, and there's also some eyes in the dark, and those will drain your health. Funnily enough, there's no lights on this level though, because every stage, as I understand it, is procedurally generated, so every time you play it's slightly different. So you never know what combination of objects you're going to get in the game, but so far it's been quite forgiving for me. So there we go. Now I'm on level 4. Ooh. So let me show you what goes on when you step in these lights. Oh, I can't, because I can't get to it that way. But if I drop down here and I go into the lights, oh, what happened there? I've jumped to another level. I'm not really sure why that happened. That might be a bit of a bug. Anyway, let's move on. Where's the key? So here, this is what I was trying to show. When you step into the lights, all the ghosts disappear, which I don't know if that helps you or not, because when they reappear, you don't know where they're going to be, so they could be right on top of you, like that. So I'm not sure that's actually necessarily a good thing. I think the concept would be that you could use it, step into the light to avoid them, but actually I feel like it actually makes it a little bit more difficult. So basically it's a reaction based platform. You've got to jump over things, maneuver around things, collect the key, get to the exit on each level. And every time you play it, as I say, it's procedurally generated levels, so it can be a bit different each time you play. So each stage is effectively considered to be a nightmare, and you've got to survive the nightmare and get on to the next one by getting the key, or something like that. So as you can see, there's a different range of enemies. Everything is drawn pretty well. A lot of it's in this sort of blue style, so it's kind of creepy and well, nightmarish, I suppose. I'm doing remarkably well in this game, by the way. I don't think I've ever gone through this many screens before, but I am getting, my health is getting worn down. There's no way to replenish your health that I'm aware of. Where's the key? I mean, here, let's put the key right next to the exit. That was pretty easy, wasn't it? And again, the key's right next to the exit, so it's going rather well at the moment. Oh. So, what am I doing here? Down here. So there's some eyes under the bed there. If I'd walked past them, that would have drained my health a little bit. So the glowing eyes are cool. There's a bunch of different nightmarish enemies running around the screens as well. Some enemies that aren't that nightmarish, some of them are quite cute, but the thing with all the arms there is pretty nightmarish, I would suggest. And yeah, so it's quite a neat little idea. Again, this one is like a fully complete game. It's got good, you know, the graphics, sound effects. Ooh, I walked past those eyes then. I'm gonna run out of health in a second. I think I might just, no, there we go. So there we go, I got a high score of 14, and it's reset again. No title screens or anything like that, so it just goes straight back and starts another game. And as you can see, it starts off relatively easy again, and away we go. But it's completely different levels to last time, so every time you play, you don't know whether it's going to be easier or harder or different or whatever. So that's pretty cool. So I'll just play through again, but you've already seen everything you're going to see in terms of, I don't think they add any more different enemies or anything like that, or concepts to the game. Again, it's a pretty straightforward sort of action platformer, reaction based, and but yeah, it's pretty cool. The graphics are nicely drawn. There's a sort of annoying throbbing sound effect in the background the whole time. Ooh, where am I going here now? Back down there? No, this is interesting. Oh, I just go down again, don't I? There we go. So again, here we go with standing in the light. I mean, great, but then when you step out the light, you've got no idea where the enemies are going to be. So yeah, I'm not sure if that was meant to be help or hinder really, but generally speaking, I would say it causes more problems than it solves. Oh my god, there's a lot of enemies on this level. Where am I? Well, yeah, every level you materialise, because it's all randomly generated. You can't always work out exactly where you are, so sometimes you can get hit by something, although you do flash with a bit of invulnerability for the first couple of seconds. Okay, so I'm going to want to go down that hole there. Oh, that wasn't good. Don't think I'm going to get up to 14 this time. I'm up to 10. This level looks quite easy if you get your timing and your jumps right. So there's a few things I feel it could be added, which is some more gaps that you have to jump over, or there you go, that's game over and restarted the level. Yes, some more sort of platforming elements, like, you know, moving platforms and things like that perhaps you need, and stuff like that. But again, we're talking about a game that's crammed into 4K of memory, so if it was expanded to a 64K version, you'd assume a lot more would be added to it. I said I wasn't going to play again, but I am doing now, so I may as well continue until I finish this playthrough, and then I'll call it a day for this series of videos. So what I've learned about these videos, about these games, sorry, is that yeah, there's a lot of talented homebrew coders out there, just like toying around with ideas that they sometimes expand into bigger pieces of work, or sometimes they're just neat little games that that work perfectly well as they are. So it's great that people are doing all this. So I always think it's amazing that people are doing all this homebrew coding anyway. But you know, for something like this, there's no real benefit for it. They're not big or good enough games to sell. Oh, there you go, that's game over. They're not big or good enough games to sell independently, I would suggest. They're all available for free download. So yeah, these are just done for fun, basically, to try out ideas and see what works, I guess. So yeah, I would say this is definitely the best of the three, although I do think the drone racing one could probably be expanded into the best of the three games if the programmer was inclined to do so. So once again, I'm playing another level of this, but I'm just playing now while I'm talking because it would be boring to see just a static screen with nothing going on. So that does it for this video. If you enjoyed this, then please give the video a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments about the three games. If you'd like to see me play some more Craptastic 4K games, and by the way, none of the games were crap, were they? They all had some redeeming quality. If you want to see me play any more of these games, then let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do another video with another three of them, because they're usually quite quick and easy to play. They only tend to be, you know, 5 minutes or so of footage or gameplay for each one. So yeah, that's it really. If you enjoyed the video, as I say, please give it a like, and until the next one, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you.